Brazil and Saudi Arabia are very important partners. I don't think most people realize that, but the link between our two countries is actually very strong. The main driver of our relationship is the economy and trade relations between our two countries. And Brazil came to the radar of Saudi Arabia as a possible destination for Saudi investment. When the Brazilian president paid a visit to Saudi Arabia last year, when he was together with the Prime Minister of India, the guest of honor of the Future Investment Initiative, Saudi Arabia announced the intention to invest up to $10 billion in Brazil through the Public Investment Fund. The Brazilian football community of professionals here in this country is the largest one. There are around 90 to 100 professionals of football, players, coach, and other professionals that work here in this country. Saudi Arabia was wise enough and quick enough to adapt also its view for the G20 and to take on board the new challenges that the pandemics was posing to the entire world. And in this respect, I think that Saudi Arabia did actually a great job. From the Brazilian perspective, reduction of inequalities is of course an overarching goal, but is at the center of our efforts there. And the vision of Saudi Arabia for the G20, the idea that we have to give opportunities to all, we think that is perfectly convergent when you look at Vision 2030 and the priorities and the goals that are set there. They are, of course, convergent with the agenda that you see in the G20. Vision 2030, of course, is a major challenge for this country here. But Saudi Arabia, I think, is delivering on this on this agenda. Women empowerment, for example, we have seen progress in this country, tremendous progress actually in this country in that regard, and we see almost on a daily basis new progress being made, and we really have the feeling that more is to come. Now, of course, I think that Vision 2030 is, before anything, it is a challenge. But it is a challenge that the Saudis have chosen to put to themselves. So the Saudis are challenging themselves to achieve the goals set in Vision 2030. To our Saudi friends, you know, this is an extremely friendly people here in Saudi Arabia. You come to Saudi Arabia and you are received with open arms. We saw ourselves quickly integrated in the Saudi society. We have many Saudi friends here. So this is incredible. This is really incredible. This makes our experience here in this country unique. We are privileged to live here in Riyadh, and in Riyadh, in this particular neighborhood, the Diplomatic Quarter, which is such a beautiful neighborhood. I really like it very much. And believe me or not, but I not only like it, but it makes me think of a certain neighborhood in Brasilia, the capital city in Brazil, which is actually kind of similar to the DQ. The urban design in that area is very similar. Here we have houses all over the place and roundabouts and a lot of green. I also love road biking, so I go to the Wadi here nearby with my road bike, and then I climb my way back home. Well, it's lovely. That's one of the things that I really love to do. The first place I would like to visit now is southern Saudi Arabia. Southern Saudi Arabia. I would like to go there. I've seen the pictures. I know it's very different. I love the mountains. I would like to see that part of the country. Especially, maybe, well, I would like to go to a place. Also, I have to confess something to you. There is a football team here in Saudi Arabia that I like very much, and they are from Najran. So they play in the second division actually, but they have a very good Brazilian coach there. And so perhaps one of the first places I would like to go would be to Najran, and from there to Jizan, another place in the south of Saudi Arabia. There is a gap of information in Brazil about Saudi Arabia. And by the way, the other way around is also true. There is a big gap of information about Brazil in Saudi Arabia. And I think that we must do our best to bridge that gap, right? So what I tell people in Brazil is that we have to look beyond the stereotypes. We have to be able to see a country that is one of the major partners of Brazil, trade partners of Brazil, a country that has a very welcoming and open population. The Saudi people, they are very open. They are very similar to us Brazilians. We are also, by nature, extremely open people. And that's what I see here too. What I found here in Saudi Arabia is a people that is extremely open, welcoming, more and more tolerant, more and more open to the world, more and more also eager to show to the world that Saudi Arabia is changing and that Saudi Arabia is changing for the best.